The fastest way to make $100,000. In this video, I'm gonna walk through all of your options, which are kind of specifically just a few on the fastest way to make 100K wherever you are in the United States. Unfortunately, well, this might work for Canada too, but unfortunately this is for North America. We're gonna talk about what you can do if you're sitting at home right now, you're working another job and you're like, I need to make 100K this year, or I need to just make 100K in less than a year, because part of this and part of what I'm gonna talk about is effort-based, and for sure, if you want to grind, you can make 100K in less than a year, and we're going to talk about it in the video right now. Before we get too far into the video, if you're not already subscribed and you want to learn more about being a successful entrepreneur, making money, doing your thing, getting out of the grind of the 9 to 5 in the US, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification, like the video, all free to do, and let's get into it. No other intro is required. Let's say you want to make 100 grand. I don't think I need to relate to you guys anymore because I want to make 100 grand. I think we all want to make 100 grand. And I know $100,000 has changed over the years. You know, a decade ago, $100,000 felt way larger than it does now. But for a lot of people, making 100 grand will change your life. And it isn't that hard in, let's say, intellect to get there. It just takes effort. And believe it or not, the fastest way to make $100,000 in today's universe and environment is through your own sweat, labor, and effort. So without a doubt, minus hitting the lottery, getting very lucky with an e-commerce site, which I don't recommend doing either, making $100,000 in a service-based industry is going to be your fastest way of making $100,000. And let me break down why. What do I mean, first off, by service-based industries? I mean exchanging money for a service provided. You're exchanging your time for dollar bills. This is very powerful. That means that depending on what you choose to do, your time is going to have a certain value in the market that you live in, and that time can be directly exchanged for a certain amount of money. What you can do from then is you can increase your time and you can then increase your money. I'm not saying work 20 hours a day, but I am saying that if you wanted to, you could work more than 8 hours a day if you do this correctly, and you could get there faster. But 8 hours a day in most services, if you stay busy, you will make $100,000 a year as long as you're doing it on your own. There are a few things here. Insurance, if depending on certain things you're getting into, it's not that expensive, but you need to get it. Obviously, you need to register as an LLC, and you need to save money for taxes and that kind of thing. But insurance, LLC, very important. You might have a few marketing costs, but you'd be surprised. Word of mouth, knocking on doors, letters, social media, Facebook groups, you'll fill yourself up before you even know it. I can speak from experience, and I used to be an engineer in the building and engineering world, and that, a lot of people were moonlighting, a lot of people were just doing their own thing, and I can tell you this is not that hard to do. Let's just say you're sitting at your desk watching this video and you don't have any skills. Well, the spectrum is there. You can do everything from, if you have the skills, you can do everything from handyman work, plumbing, things that you don't necessarily need a license to do or a permit to do. There are plenty of things out there. Those are obviously going to have a higher dollar per hour value to you, but you have to be skilled in those pieces. And obviously you could try to learn, but you're going to have to charge less at the get-go. There are also things that you can watch a YouTube video on, buy a few inexpensive tools, and do that are a little bit easier. We've seen the trends of power washing, which in certain markets is saturated. Obviously, anything with lawn, garden, any type of exterior service, which takes much less knowledge and technical skill, may pay a little less, but everyone needs it, are also options. Now, I live in one part of the United States, and my, what the needs are here are very different from everywhere that you are, so you need to understand what you can do. If you want some concrete examples of what you can do and just don't know where to get started, if you've got some skills, handyman. If not, yard cleanup, mowing grasses, power washing, cleaning siding, cleaning roofs, moving, helping people move, interior cleaning, house cleaning, tutoring, anything educational, anything lesson-based. Literally, what you could do also is you could go to like a lawn service provider or like a company like that, or a general handyman company, look at the services they provide, and then go figure out how to do one of them on YouTube, and then go and provide those services to people. Get on Facebook groups, do all those things. So let's say you've picked what you're doing, whether you're tutoring or You're power washing someone's driveway, a little saturated depending on your market. You're cleaning cars, automotive detailing, whatever it is. Let's say you choose your service. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to get onto Facebook and join every single local group within your state. We're talking, mom and pop groups. We're talking about town groups. We're talking about for sale groups, all those things. You should be joining hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of groups. The next thing you're doing is you're posting in every single group about your service and what you provide. You're not doing it in a clickbait way. You're not putting URLs or any links. You're just saying, look, I'm a local person. This is what I do for a living. I'm accepting new appointments. Free quote today. Something like that. Maybe comment down below if you want a quote. Get some engagement on that post, boost it within the group. Next, as all that happens, you're gonna go to your printer and you're gonna print out flyers. It's gonna go into local libraries, local town halls, community centers, anywhere with high foot traffic where you can post something like a flyer. You would be shocked. Those things fly if they're in the right area. I used to tutor. Literally one piece of printout paper offering tutor services where you cut the little bottom so they can pull a little tab, rip off your phone number. I used to throw those in libraries when I was in college, and I'd get calls on calls and calls, and at that time I was tutoring for over $100 an hour. Now, I was a mechanical engineer and I was tutoring higher level engineering in math and physics, but most tutors make 50 plus an hour anyways. So once you do those two things, might take a little bit of time to ramp up, but as you increase, you're gonna find that for most services, depending on what you're doing, you're charging at the very minimum $35 to $40 an hour. But most often, once you get bigger jobs and you're doing more work and you're more in demand, right? Once you start getting busy, you can start cutting out people. So you're gonna start around there. As you get busy and you fill up what is greater than your normal work schedule, you then increase your price. You're gonna lose some clientele, but as you're busy and if you have good ratings and referrals and all those things, the people that want to work with you are gonna pay the little bit more. If you go from $40 an hour to $50 an hour, not a big deal from client to client, big deal for your income, or whatever it is, $50 an hour to $70 an hour, whatever it is. You might lose some people, but if you're busy enough, that's okay. So the trick is get busy enough, start with the money, which you're already gonna be making good money, and then increase your costs. At $50 an hour, 40 hours a week, with normal time off and holidays, that's $100,000 a year. That's the conversion. Where it happens faster is you work more hours. You work 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 10-hour days, 12-hour days. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. You're gonna make 100 grand. And you rinse and repeat, and that's basically it. And then if you wanna become really successful, you hire people to then sub out the jobs for you, and you rinse and repeat. The hard part about this is it all comes with your blood, sweat, and tears. It's labor-based, it's service industry-based, but you'll make for sure 100K. It all comes down to quality of life. Why am I not doing that anymore? I like working a remote job from this office, from this seat, making more than a six-figure income. Just, it's a quality of life thing. I've gotten there in other means and I don't have to go, sweat myself out for it. But if I wanted to, I could always go and do that if I don't want to do what I'm doing right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I gave you some actionable advice. The only reason you're not making 100 grand right now is because you're not doing it. Now, the one caveat before I let you guys go, if you live in a lower cost of living area and you're like, I can't charge those rates, if you really want to go for it, literally take a summer, move to somewhere higher cost of living, live out of your car, rent a short-term rental, and go to New York City, go to Boston, go to Seattle, go to LA, work there, higher cost of living area. Again, 100K, you might have to get uncomfortable. You got to do it, you got to do it. What I just said about moving and contracting in a different state, very normal. I used to work in the building engineering world. Every once in a while, there'd be a developer, and all of a sudden, the roofers would show up, and it's like 9 guys living out of a van, and they're all from Louisiana. I'm in Boston. It's because they can make $150 an hour in Boston, and in Louisiana, they're making $35 an hour. So people do it. That's part of the grind of making money, and the only thing stopping you is you. Get out there, do it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.